What's up, guys? Spotty here with some Clash of Clans, and I'm going to be talking about an army. I'm going to be talking about probably one of the best, or the best, fastest resource generating armies that you can train in Clash of Clans. You cannot train a faster army than this in Clash of Clans, okay? And I'm going to tell you you can see what I'm training. I'm training barbarians, and I'm training minions. That's it. That's it. I'm just maxing out. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to train. My capacity for training is 75. I'm just going to bump it up. 75 barbarians. And the barbarians, again, 20 seconds to train. Pretty short training time. All right, so there are all the barbarians. Yes, I'm using some spells, but not really. Only on rare occasions, and I'm training as many minions as possible, okay? Now, when I'm talking about resource generation, I'm talking about gold and elixir. This is probably, or in most cases, will be a negative producer of resources for dark elixir, okay? So if you're after dark elixir, then this may not necessarily be the most appropriate army. What I would suggest is perhaps barbarians and archers, which, if you're not training dark troops, is going to be, again, the fastest possible. Well, technically barbarians would be the fastest possible, but I think you want archers as a complement, and like we do have minions here as a complement to our armies, okay? In order to train a full army of barbarians and minions here on Town Hall 8, and it's obviously going to vary on different town halls because you have different army camp capacities, but we have a 200 capacity, 50 per. It takes me 11.3 minutes to train a full army. Now, if you want to do just mass attacks without having to boost your barracks, I know that you can probably boost your barracks and get an approximate, 11.3 with maybe some more advanced troops, but you're using gems to do so. If you would just want to raid all day, 11.3 minutes is awesome for training your army. If you go into a battle, let's say we go into an attack and we're looking for an attack, okay? Number one, right now, as soon as we're looking for a battle, our troops are being filled into our army camps, okay? If we cancel, then they get removed. They get put back into your barracks. But right now, they are training. And if you take, on average, about 3 minutes for an average raid, let's say, okay, from the time you start the battle, you've got the 30-second countdown to check out the base, and then, 2.5 minutes to run your attack. So that's 3 minutes. And you have just over 8 minutes to find an appropriate base to attack, okay? So the bases that you want to attack are obviously going to be appropriate for the army that you're building or you're training, right? You can't just attack any base. And even when I'm searching for bases here, as you can see, I'm hard-pressed. It takes a while to find an appropriate base. It takes a while. It doesn't matter what type of army you have. It takes a while to find a base that is going to have an ample enough resources for you to want to attack them, right? Like, I don't want to attack any base. I really don't want less than 200,000 gold. I'm just after gold right now, but with elixir, it's pretty much the same thing, okay? There's no real difference. So, again, you got to find a base, number one, that's going to have that loot available. Number two is going to be appropriate for an attack using the army that you're training. Again, if you're training more of a longer build army with more advanced troops like dragons and P.E.K.K.A.s and whatever else, you're going to be waiting a heck of a lot longer than 11.3 minutes to attack. And I can guarantee you that my resource generation per hour will blow yours out of the water every single time. Okay? I don't really care. Trophies is kind of a secondary consideration for this army. I have gone up. I have increase my net trophies using this army, but only at like a 1-star basis at a time, okay? Because sometimes you'll find bases that have their town hall outside their main base, outside their walls, and you can attack easily. Or when you're attacking for the resources, like this base here, you're attacking a lot of those exterior buildings that are going to help you generate that 50% target when you're attacking, the 50% destruction, which will give you that 1 star, okay? So there are a few times, yes, there are a few times. If we look, let's go back here. And my base selection hasn't been great, but we're going to look at the example of the last 3 attacks, okay? But let's go back and see just just based on my 1-star wins, right? Yes, I did lose some, and again, the ones that I lost, I'm going for resources. It doesn't matter that I lose trophies on any individual raid because I'm strictly going for resources. I want to upgrade my walls. I want that gold. I don't care if I lose trophies right now at this point because honestly, and following up from yesterday or the other day with my defensive base configuration, I mean, my net trophy gain is going up all the time. I mean, I'm over 1,800. I started just over 1,500 about a week ago, not even raiding, and, you know, this is where I'm at with my base design, okay? So, going to the attack log, so I'd lost a few of these, like minus 20, minus 23, and some of these were pretty bad, but I'm going to focus on the last 3. So you see Bunnet, O1212, AO, Ardude 3. 200,000 gold, 166,000 elixir. 250,000 gold, 241,000 elixir. 198,000 gold, 200,000 elixir. Okay? My net resources per raid is over 2 million based on those attacks per hour. 2 million, that's 1 million gold, 1 million elixir per hour. You cannot beat that. I can guarantee you cannot beat that with a different army, with another army, unless you're boosting your barracks to train your armies faster. Like I can run here for an hour and probably be able to obtain close to 1 million gain in elixir and gold. Okay, and that's based on only getting 200,000. I mean, you can get those bases, which are few and far between, where you can manage to get a lot more. I mean, I've had attacks where I've gotten 400,000 gold, right? But those are few and far between. It's hard enough, even with this army, to find, and we just did an example where we look for attacks, and it's hard to find those bases. I mean, you will find them. You might get lucky. You might get lucky and find them, but on average, over 100 raids, I can guarantee that I'm gonna generate more gold and elixir per hour than with any other army configuration. Okay, so we're going to replay this one, the Bunnet O1212, and just show you exactly the types of bases that I look for, right? So here, obviously, this guy's got all of his gold mines and elixir collectors on the exterior of his map. This guy, I mean, he's Town Hall level 9. Look at his defenses. His defenses suck. His defenses are so under-leveled, it's insane. I mean, with a decent army, or a little bit better of an army, we could have just wiped him clean. I don't really care that I didn't 3-star this guy. It was getting close to being at least a 2-star, but yeah, this guy's defenses just were horrible. And we already got all the loot that we want from him, right? I mean, yes, I was letting them go. I mean, I could have just ended it. I thought perhaps maybe we had a chance in the town hall, but those hidden Teslas really did a number on us. So, but that's again. What was our reward there? It's the resources: 202,000 gold, 166. I can't talk anymore. 1,000 elixir. Okay, let's take a look at this one. AO. This is a loss. I took a loss on this one, and you can see why. I mean, he had on this base. Number 1, he's got better defenses. Number 2, his buildings on the exterior of the base are more spread out. Number 3, he's got the Archer Queen and the Barbarian King that are going to help out here. Okay, so there are a lot of reasons why I didn't 1-star this base, and I didn't coordinate. I didn't coordinate my minions particularly well, sending them in down at the bottom right. I should have put them in somewhere else, possibly up in the top left, because we have, or the top right. Because we have those air defenses, right? So, I mean, my focus, again, is strictly on the gold mines. I'm just going for gold. Getting elixir is kind of a side benefit, but it doesn't matter because I'm at 6 million all the time. I have not dropped under 5 million in weeks because I don't need the elixir, right? Okay, so last attack, Ardude 3. And this was just moments ago before the recording. Again, all of his gold mines, except for one on the top left, are outside of his base. And that's what I'm going for. That's why I'm going to send my minions up in the top left. You'll see them come in. Most of them are going to come in the top left. Now, the only thing I messed up a little bit was on the bottom right. Because the Barbarian King was down there, I didn't send enough troops on the bottom right to take out that last gold mine. So what I ended up doing is using my Barbarian King, which I don't you know, I try not to use him. If I need to use him, then I'll bring him in. But I try not to use him because I want him to help on the defense, right? I want to have him available. I don't want him, you know, sleeping for an hour and a half and then I get attacked on my base and then he's not available, right? So I brought him in, whatever. And thing is, I forgot I had the minion on the left-hand side, the top left. So I end up using a spell here, and that's what I save my spells for. I only use my spells. Let's say if I'm borderline 50%ing the base, then I'll use my lightning spells, or if there is a large collection of Dark Elixir in a base's Dark Elixir storage, then I'll use my lightning spells to try and grab some of that. But that's the only time, because, again, training my army 11.3 minutes, the spells take a half an hour, right? I don't want to have to wait for a spell to get created for a half an hour. And then same with my Barbarian King. I don't want to rely on my Barbarian King for these attacks. I want to use my army because it's quick, okay? So, guys, try it out. Again, if you're going for Dark Elixir, then I would switch up the minions for archers. It's going to take you longer. It's probably going to take you closer, depending on your levels of how many barbarians you train versus archers you train. It'll probably be up towards 17 minutes to train a full army. But here, this is the best resource-generating army you can train, and the fastest. If you look at it from a per-hour basis, not a per-attack basis. Per-attack basis, you can probably find bases that you can get for more resources. They may be more difficult, but you have a better army. But that's on a per-attack basis. We're talking an hourly basis, hourly income, and getting those walls up to level 8 here on Town Hall 8. All right? Try it out. It's pretty effective. Just make sure your base selection is solid, okay? And make sure, again, when I look at these bases, okay? So if we go to the attack log and visit these guys, because I think there is a bit of a glitch on the gold storages, make sure you're checking out the elixir, Dark Elixir drills, okay? So you can see here, it looks like, you know, it looks like that they don't have any gold in their storages. They don't have any elixir in their storages. But the telltale sign is that Dark Elixir drill, that container on the top of it, is full. That means this guy is not collecting his resources, and they're in the mines, they're in the elixir collectors, they're in the Dark Elixir drills. Okay. One of the other telltale signs is not an absolute telltale sign. Is if you know, you're a week or so into the league, right? Let's take a look here. So the season ends in 2 days, 8 hours. If you are looking for an attack and you find somebody that is not rated in the league. Sorry, my milk is ready to be collected on Heyday. Apologize for that. Let's let that disappear. It's the top left, right? He's rated gold 1. You keep going. I mean, you're going to be hard-pressed to find him at this stage of the game. I mean, there's only 2 days left in the 2-week period for the rating on the leagues. But if you do find someone that's not rated, likely they're really not active, and they may not be running attacks. They may not be collecting their resources. But again, I wouldn't really rely on that entirely. That's maybe a bit of a sign for you as well. But I would always look at the Dark Elixir drills. See, this guy is about half full. So that means, you know, he's going to have a decent amount of resources in his gold mines and collectors. Okay? So that's it, guys. Try out that army and let me know what you think. It's pretty awesome, and I've been getting a lot of resources. I mean, just based on the number of attacks that I've run, and I haven't been that active on the attacks, but I've certainly been able to upgrade quite a few of my level 7 walls to level 8 walls here on Town Hall 8. We'll catch you next time, guys. I'm Spider, and I'm out.